I don't think you realize how life-changing wholesaling real estate actually is. I'm not going to mislead you here and say that you're going to go from where you're at now to driving a McLaren tomorrow, but what you can do in the next 180 days is replace your current income. You can quit your job and have a business that gives you more freedom than you could ever possibly imagine. And that's coming from someone who's actually done it. So my brother and I went from collecting unemployment checks and food stamps to consistently doing 6 figures a month in our wholesaling business. This is no exaggeration. This is a complete life transformation in just 6 months. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story, and then I'm going to give you 6 steps that I followed to achieve these results. So right here, you can see this was actually my first day of cold calling. And then on the right-hand side, this was me the day I picked up my McLaren 720. So pretty cool. Now, back when COVID hit, as you know, everything stopped. I was working in luxury real estate, showing multi-million-dollar homes, and then suddenly I had no income. So that was pretty scary. And I needed something that I could do virtually, and I decided to try doing wholesaling. And for months, I followed what everyone was teaching, getting county records, using PropStream, pulling data from batch leads, and spend hours on the phone calling sellers who had already been called 10 times that day. And I remember one night specifically, we were sitting in our apartment after a pretty rough day, and our bank accounts were just draining. The little unemployment money that we had was barely getting us by and could barely cover rent. So we had to make a decision, either find a new approach or give up on wholesaling completely, which was not an option. So that's when we stopped following what everybody else was doing and started thinking differently about this entire process. So everything changed when we created what we now call the ghost owner method. And instead of competing for the same leads as every other wholesaler, we developed a targeted approach focusing on specific type of sellers that most people overlooked. And at this point, we started to see the light. We were starting to see a little bit of results, so we got really happy about that. So we started calling these leads, and we noticed something that was pretty significant at the time. And while we definitely still spoke to people who had talked to other investors and other wholesalers, the quality of leads was dramatically different. These sellers from our ghost owners list were consistently more motivated to make a deal happen. So what happened, right? We got results. We had a consistent flow of leads. We were able to make offers every single day. People actually wanted to speak with us, and those leads started to convert to deals. And, it's a lot easier to have somebody sell their property when they're not living in it. There's no family to relocate. There's no emotional attachment to the property. These ghost owners often have real problems that they needed solved, whether they're tired of managing from a distance, they have tenants that are a headache, they have to evict them, there's a ton of maintenance issues, whatever the case may be, there's always issues, and we were there to solve the problem. So for the first 4 weeks after implementing the ghost owner method, we got our first property under contract. And just 2 weeks later, we landed our second deal, which was absolutely great. So just to show you some solidified proof here, here's the deal that we closed for $6,000, and then the second one for $17,000 just 2 weeks later. So in total, our first 2 wholesale deals netted us about $23,000 after so many months of not being able to do anything. And we posted these in local real estate Facebook groups, right? And within 24 hours, we had 3 people interested in it, which was awesome. And we assigned that first contract for $6,000. The second deal, we used a marketing package that we made, which allowed us to sell that deal for a $17,000 assignment. And it was around this time that I started thinking to myself, like, damn, like we're actually onto something. We're doing this thing, right? And we developed a systematic approach to converting these ghost owner leads into contracts and then finding buyers super quickly for them. And then after that, what we did was we became obsessed about the metrics and refining everything in our business. We tracked everything. And here you can see a spreadsheet with all the data that we were tracking. We tracked outbound calls, total talk time, leads generated, offers made. You can see everything there. And within 6 months, we had our own dedicated calling team that we started with a partner over in Egypt, cranking out leads and deals for us. So as we got more experience, we developed a systematic approach to building a strong buyers list and matching the right properties with the right investors. So today, we can assign almost any deal. It doesn't matter the condition, the timeline, price, or the market. So the financial impact to me eventually allowed me to buy one of my dream cars, a McLaren 720S, the photo right there. And this seemed absolutely possible or impossible when we were on food stamps and were hardly able to pay rent. So now what I want to do is show you the 6 steps that I took to generating this business. So number 1 is we targeted ghost owners, right? Targeted absentee owners, specifically people who own properties but do not live in them. We filtered for a minimum of 20% equity. We focused on only individual owners, not LLC or corporations. We looked at property value or properties valued between 0 to 300,000. We targeted single family homes exclusively, so no multifamily, no land, none of that. We eliminated properties with listing activity in the last 6 months. And then what we did was we used a proven sales system to address their financial situation of managing vacant properties, focused on conversations, on solving their specific problems, listening to why they were selling their properties. Number 3 is selling the contracts without a buyer's list. We created a simple marketing package highlighting the property's potential. We posted those in real estate Facebook groups to find the buyers. And then we tracked everything. Tracked how many leads we got, how many offers we gave, how many contracts we got, and how many of those were actually sold. And then what we did was we leveraged connections from each transaction. Every transaction that we did, we had a new connection that helped us with the next one. And all we did was we matched properties with the right investor's specific needs. So it became super easy. And then after that, what we did was we scaled and got paid. So we scaled into multiple deals a month. And from there, we kept growing. So remember, follow this roadmap if you want to change your life in the next 6 months. If I can do it, I 100% know you can. And the best part about it is we already have people that are doing it. And if you're thinking to yourself, can I actually do this? I'm going to show you 2 of our students who actually implemented this exact strategy. So Katie and BJ, they're closing $105,000 in the next 30 days. That is absolutely crazy. So kudos to them. Great job. Super proud. And, one big win, guys, it takes one win to change your life. And even if you're only doing one deal, $10,000 every single month, that's $120,000 every single year. That's crazy. That's life-changing money for 99% of people. So the best part about it, you only need a phone, a laptop, and some internet. And I'm pretty sure everybody has that because you're watching this right now. So I hope that you seeing my journey has helped you realize that you can do this as well. I made a ton of mistakes along the way, and I still ended up where I'm at today. I graduated in the bottom 5% of my class in high school. My brother didn't even graduate. He got his GED. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. You can make this happen if you have the right approach and you follow a system. So if you're serious about changing your life through wholesaling in the next 6 months, check out the link in the description to my one-on-one coaching program where I'm going to help you implement all of these same strategies and start closing deals in the next 90 days. So remember, 6 months from right now, you are going to wish you started today. So do yourself a favor. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.